Last time on the Do More podcast, we talked about the importance of understanding that every time you say yes, you in turn say no to something else. And that contributes to a lifestyle of busyness. And if you're like me, you're probably constantly finding yourself caught up in that busyness of life, always taking action without really even knowing why you're doing what you're doing. And friends, we live in such a fast-paced world that it's so easy to get caught up in that never-ending to-do list and have that whirlwind of things that we feel we need to do, but just really aren't that important. But if we truly want to achieve happiness and fulfillment in our personal and our professional lives, then we need to understand one important thing: our why. Welcome to the Do More podcast, where we explore practical strategies and mindset shifts really to help you unlock your full potential. I'm your host, Ben, from benribble.com Coaching, where we focus on three foundational pillars: leadership, productivity, and organization. And today, we're diving into a powerful concept: the idea that results follow reasons. So, what exactly do I mean by results follow reasons? Well, really, it boils down to it's about having a clear purpose and an understanding of the reasons behind our actions. When we have a compelling reason, a strong why, quote unquote, driving us, it becomes easier to stay focused and to stay motivated. I want you to think about it like this. Imagine that if you were building a house, you would start with a strong foundation, right? Well, the same principle applies to our lives. Our why acts as that strong foundation, providing the necessary support for everything that we do. This really is not a new concept. As a matter of fact, in the Bible, in Matthew 7, verses 24 through 27, it says, "Therefore, anyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice," and here's where it gets good, "is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall." Why? Because it had its foundation on the rock. It had a strong foundation. But it goes on to say that anyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. No foundation, right? The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. Don't be like the foolish man and build your life and your daily grind on a sandy foundation or a weak foundation. So, moving on, how do we uncover our why? Well, quite honestly, it starts with a little bit of self-reflection. You need to stop and take some time and ask yourself some meaningful questions. For example, what truly matters to me? Or, what are my fundamental values and beliefs? What is at the core of my belief system? Maybe you ask yourself, what impact do I want to make on this world? And friends, when you dig deep and discover your authentic motivations, I guarantee you're going to find your why. And once you have a clear understanding of your why, well, here's where it becomes a litmus test for everything you do, every decision you make, or every action you take from this point forward. Your why should align with your goals and guide your choices. It helps you distinguish between what's truly important, those things that you want to say yes to, and what's just noise. Again, referencing the last episode, the things that you want to say no to. Always ask yourself, does this align with my why when you're faced with a new challenge or a new opportunity? Does this align with my why? Now let's talk about why having a strong why can really supercharge your productivity. I mean, when you're clear on your purpose, your focus becomes laser focused. And you become more intentional about how you spend your time and about how you spend your energy. And your actions become more aligned with your goals, resulting in increased productivity. What? I'm going to say that again because this is the gold right here. When you understand your why, when you have aligned your daily grind with your greater intention, your foundation, your core beliefs, your actions, what you do every day, is going to become more aligned with your goals because your goals are aligned with your why. And all of this is going to result in increased productivity. Now, let's not forget about the impact of your why on your motivation and your resilience, right? There are so many people who burn out after a little while because they have not defined their why. They don't have a strong why driving them. And when you're faced with obstacles or setbacks, knowing your why can help you stay committed and help you persevere. Your why becomes a constant source of inspiration for you, reminding you of the bigger picture and of all the reasons that you started in the first place. Now, I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story. A few years ago, I was kind of stuck in my career. I was going through the motions and quite honestly lacking purpose and fulfillment. It wasn't until I took the time to uncover my why that everything changed. I realized that I had a passion for helping others unlock their potential, and that became a big part of my driving force. I realized that I am here to serve others, to teach others. And now, armed with my why, I make intentional choices every day that align with my greater purpose. And I started this podcast to reach even more people and to share the strategies and the mindset shifts that I've learned along the way. When I look back at where I was 5 or 10 years ago, I kind of just shake my head, realizing how far I've come. But friends, I also look forward, realizing how far I still have to go. And that encourages me. That gives me a great deal of excitement. And realizing my why, understanding my driving force, you know what? It's been really, really rewarding. The feedback and success stories that I receive from listeners like you keep me going. And friends, if you have a story or you have been encouraged by this podcast, again, this is kind of a selfish ask here, but it helps keep me going, helps encourage me. Do me a favor. Leave a review wherever you're listening, or jump over to podinbox.com/do-more and record a voice memo for me telling me whether you've been encouraged or not. So, here's my challenge for you today. I want you to take some time, some quiet time, do some meditation or some prayer, calm your mind, and I want you to reflect on your why. What is your why? Why do you get up every morning? Why do you go to work? Why do you interact with other people? Take some time to delve into your core motivations and discover what truly drives you. And remember, friends, your why, it's going to be unique to you. No one else can say that they have the exact same why that you do, because no one else has had the same experiences that you have had in the same order, in the same place in their lives that you have had. Your why is going to be unique. Own that. Embrace it. So take some time, delve into your core motivations, and discover what truly, truly drives you. And remember that your why, it needs to be aligned both with your personal and your professional life. But you can have slightly different variations of your why when it comes to your personal life or your career, your relationships, or even a cause that you're extremely passionate about. Whatever it is, embrace it and let it guide you towards the results you desire. And now, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this final thought. Results truly do follow reasons. When you know your why, your reasons, you, my friend, become unstoppable. Your actions align with your purpose. Your productivity soars. And the best part is you're going to find fulfillment in every step that you take, professionally and personally. Now, friends, I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of the Do More podcast. And if you enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any future discussions on unlocking your potential. Remember, your why is your superpower. And friends, until next time, keep doing more of what truly matters, and remember to make today a great day.
This episode of the Do More podcast was brought to you by the Laser Focused Life Coaching. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to learn more about maximizing your productivity and achieving your goals, visit our website at laserfocused.life to sign up for a free 30-minute coaching session. Thanks again for listening to the Do More podcast.